was, do we want to
define it? The sun acts as the great definer. Welcome to another one of my vlogs. This week you're gonna see the final steps in the installation of the whole art show, as well as the making of the perfumes I made for this installation. And finally the eclipse activation I did in the space. And I end this episode with a performance I made as I was disinstalling the show. So enjoy. So I'm trying to line up the third eye to the middle of this painting down there, where there's this golden glow in the mirror. So we're trying to have it perfectly lined up. So there's gonna be kind of this psychological tension when you're in between this and the painting, feeling like self-aware as if you're stepping in front of someone that's watching something. That's actually pretty cool, seeing this.
So that's
Okay, so it does bring it pretty high, huh? Is it? I mean, it does go like with. I kind of like it actually.
Yeah, it's not bad, and because it's its own wall, it's kind of separate from the rest of the room. So
Yeah,
it's not like everything else needs to be high.
but it also makes it sacred. You know how you would put something sacred a bit higher.
Yeah, elevator, literally elevator. Yeah.
So conceptually, it works. Like it looks like a. I can hold it, Denise.
Some lettering that says, it's just, it's not like this outside.
That's
it will
for
be
here.
outside, but it will be spaced out differently, like on the windows outside, the white.
Do you think this is appropriate, or do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have anything? We could always like put a little folded piece of cloth of some sort, if you want to kind of like offset it from the surface.
Yeah, we can test after, but I think for now that's
Okay.
and good surface, good width.
This is just, I'm just sticking on the stove for now. It won't necessarily be that high.
Yep.
And then I just want to, in terms of the height, the question was, do we want to keep the mirror at
Oh yeah,
58, and
I like
we're
it.
going to kind of kick it up for
Oh.
a shelf?
Because the shelf will be,
You can
yeah. And I feel like that together, if they're being in conversation, we should be measuring from the bottom of this to.
Well, it could be like
oh,
eye level, kind of like.
True, yeah. How about your eye level?
Yeah, because that's how I painted it, right? It's like
Right.
this is actually my eye like holes.
Okay.
Right there.
So
Then
are
that's
you,
I'm going to take your eye height, and then I'll put the
Yeah.
in it.
So with the sun, you can see this piece better.
so now how? Now.
Right, so is it coming straight from the center? Like straight up, or is it coming back?
Yeah, the middle will have to be a bit more higher. You know, have two strings and not bundle it up. I mean, they're
Totally.
I don't know if it's that cool.
Oh yeah. Okay. The keep it broad.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yesterday I did a meditation ceremony in front of this piece because often these meanings of the pieces don't get activated until I do that. and really what came forth. This is a battery, like this other sculpture that I'm done, the vertical pillar with this kind of entity on it, that I'm going to be using salt water and copper to activate, to create an actual electrical current. Same thing, this, it's kind of more of an etheric current with the negative charge here and the positive charge there. And in the center, the Vesica Piscis is the heart chakra. So let me open it to show you. So this was the craziest things, because this is a natural occurring phenomena, the hourglass nebula. But adding this line, which is the complementary color of this blue, it really creates this holographic effect on the psyche when you gaze into it. So I was starting to just, you gaze into this eye and you zone out, you let your gaze zone out. And all of a sudden, all the color shifts start, all the polarities of like the green, the red, the orange, reddish with the blue, they start to invert and create this kind of pulse. And really, with all the symbols that are integrated, including the shape of the frame, what really came out in regards to the meaning of the whole show is that this is a healing piece, because the eye is the eye of the Great Mother, this cosmic mother. And all that she wants, all that she's wanted throughout this past, like more than 2,000 year era where we were separated from her, is to tell us that we are her creation and that she sees us. And the same, like on a microcosm, all we've ever all wanted is for our parents to see us. It's a form of love, of acceptance that comes from being seen. And having this one eye kind of does this, because wherever you move around the painting, you are seen. Like this eye seems to be tracking and looking at you with no blinking, fully present. And this is the truth to healing, is to fully see yourself, fully see your traumas, fully see where your blockages are. And the other thing that came from this is the fact that this era was really one, because I use the Madonna, the Virgin Mary a lot in this art show. And we have been in this era, which is, if you look at the biggest myth of our times, the Virgin Mary is a very big player for representing the feminine. And what does she do? Yes, she sacrifices her life to raise this kid, Jesus, who then dies. And then she's grieving the separation from her loved one. But Virgin Mary really represents the divine cosmic mother that birthed the whole of reality. And what this does to our psyche during this last era that's ending is that we are separated from her. We are born into this world in this patriarchal kind of institutional, religious, masculine world, feeling separated from her, feeling like, we don't even think about it because this is not something that's emphasized by society, but it's such an integral part of our healing, is to reconnect directly with this unconditional source of love, which is reality, which is the Body of Nuit. But all in all, so just as like we have genes from our parents, well, we have spiritual genes from the Creator, the womb that created us. And that is this creative abilities that we all have to generate new ideas and implement them and test them in the world and improve the collective well-being by testing our creations. And when we try something new that has not been tried yet and improve it, well, it's kind of like the code gets sent back up and everyone has access to it. Yeah, I mean, like that is nice.
Okay.
Like just something symmetrical on the other side. Okay. tonight I'm making the essential oil healing ointment. So I have my jojoba oil. Oh, it's down here. And then all my essential oils, like I have them all classified. And now I'm gonna make little papers with the exact number of drops I'm putting on the papers. So I might try like 2 drops of hyssop, and then another paper 1 drop of yarrow, and then fanning them together, see what the effects are. But I'm really excited because I intuitively bought 2 essential oils that actually are blue. If you see the cap, and the bottles are blue. So really what I'm trying to depict here is creating as a smell the body of Nuit, so that when you smell, you feel enveloped by her presence. And the poem that is associated with this art show that's in the screen in the entrance, you know, there's a video with the text flowing on the flyers everywhere. For I am divided for the sake of love, for the chance of union. And for me, that's how I've always had such a deep connection with smell. Like I go in the forest and I can smell different plants, like as they're, you know, around me, far away, like a specific mint bush that's just, you know, meters away. And so for me, smell is so important. And I had the revelation last summer of dividing this smell into 3 parts. The first part is the mound. The mound has the base notes of the cardamom, the vetiver root, and the angelica root. And then what I'm doing now is going to be the high notes that the guests will be invited to smell, put on their skins as they walk through. And with the concept of like, for I am divided for the sake of union. For me, this is this kind of metaphysical and metaphorical as well idea that base notes and high notes are meant to unite together. And all the high notes are all healing essential oils, like I have inula, hyssop, Helichrysum, Italian Helichrys, yarrow, Tansy, blue Tansy, geranium, rosette, and all made in a small batch by an artisan that's from Egypt. And a lot of those plants actually come from Egypt. And this guy that makes them is very into the spiritual properties. He says that he's not cultivating like just the oils, but the spirit of the plants. So there is all this infused in those little, you know, handmade, it's the guy is Michael Zayat. He has his website online and he's based in Quebec and originally from Egypt. So I'm gonna be uniting people with those smells so that once you arrive, you put this before entering the space, and once you smell the base notes, you feel united. And then the mid notes will be the inside of the womb. There will be another smell which will have more rose, essential oils, and the geranium, and the earth, of course. And so the idea is that with these 2 smells, the base and the top notes, they are uniting you in the heart. And literally, like when I'm gonna do these little ceremonies, rituals, I'll invite people to go in the mound with those smells on them, and having all those smells and creating this beautiful perfume when they're all mixing up together in the air and on your skin. So I decided to actually show you guys. I have between 1 drop to 4 drops on each of those papers. This is my formula so far. It's quite complex because that means there's 7 different flowers and essential oils. And I just fan it. And then all the aroma in those proportions exactly get balanced together in the air. So for this one, we have jasmine, lavender, lemon, it smells a lot, yarrow, this is lemon, oh the other one is not lemon, sorry, it's ledum, Helichrysum, and Tansy. These are like the blue ones. Look at this beautiful blue color. And yarrow too is blue, which is cool. It goes with the concept. So I've got my first little sample for the show, this little roller. And this, in there I mixed my rose. It's the rose extract. You can even see in the cover. This is the incense from the Rosicrucians. And I put my rose centifolia already in it. Now I'm gonna just filter it so that there's no more of those crumbs from the incense, so that then I can infuse it with my silk. And then put in little pouches that are gonna be dissimulated in the mound and in that heart piece I showed you recently. So final step is to install this doorknob. The opening is tomorrow, so it's really the last step. I'll just find the center and then lock it in. So welcome to this ceremony. First one to try it, so I'm very excited for you guys to experience it. The ritual is called the Ritual of Dissolution. So you guys all know a bit of the insider about what it's about from having talked to me. So tonight the moon is eclipsed in the sign of Leo, the celestial seat of the ego. In our daily lives, the sun acts as the great definer. It illuminates our I am, providing a sense of self necessary to navigate the physical universe. Yet the very labels that helps us interact with the world can also become a barrier that limit our reach. So as you are seeing here, this was the ritual I conducted that was basically the activation for the whole show. So it was one of the most meaningful moments. And people were invited to gaze in the same way I described in the beginning of the video into that central piece, that central eye, and zone out and see what happens, and then write an intention that they want to release, a label that kind of defines their ego. Go in the mound to gestate and connect with their feminine side, and with the cosmic mother, and then go to that piece that's in front of the camera right now to release their intention into the salt water. And now to end this week's video, and the last one of this series that has lasted this past year or so of me making this art show, and finally it's now down. I made this video that you're seeing on the screen right now as a sort of ritual of dissolution. As I was dismantling this whole show, I wanted to symbolize the whole essence of the show in one performance. So that was actually recorded the day after the show closed. I had like a few hours before they started to put the things off the wall to film, and I wanted to demonstrate the idea that was rolling in the front window of the art show that you saw in the beginning of this video into a symbolic. So I'm gonna put a few parts of this ritual so you get it, and hopefully this will be shown when I show this work again. It will be shown as a piece in itself. Thank you all for being part of this journey with me, all of you guys that have been following, the process all along. It's very special to share this with you guys, even though we don't have a direct connection. I see some of you guys are also, sending messages on Instagram, and it really means a lot to be able to share this with you guys. So enjoy the rest of this video, and I'll continue vlogging the process, but it might be something new coming. And for your information also, the soundtrack that you're hearing it behind this video is the original soundtrack that was looping throughout the show, so you get an idea of the ambience also in the art show. last thing before I leave you guys. I recorded a whole podcast in the gallery and I walked through every piece and the symbolism behind it. And that is now live. It was just posted at the same time as this last episode. So I'll put the link up here so you can click and watch it. Thank you guys for watching this vlog. This is the last one for this whole series. I'm probably going to make more artworks in this series for other art shows. But for now, I'm traveling to Europe, going to film some podcasts or over the summer. So I might be vlogging there. So the next vlogs will be more travel and insights probably. Thanks for watching, guys. Much love and light to all of you.